Well, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be setting up my budget for the month of February, which really how is it already going on to February? So, I mean, 2020 is already starting to fly by for me. So as much as I really can't believe it, we're gonna go ahead and set up February's budget and see where we can go from there. Okay, so to begin with, I want to create a very similar type of layout for February as I did for January. I really like how this turned out and it worked out really well for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take my extension pack that I keep in the back of my planner because I'm only doing 1 month at a time. So if I have like January up here in my regular planner, I'm using the budget extension pack and I'm only keeping 1 month and it's directly behind that month. Then that way I'm not flipping too much throughout the planner. It's just everything is in one nice, easy setup. So as you can see, I listed all my bills on the monthly layout. And I do try to keep like a color theme and a seasonal theme for each page. And I also do love the fact that we have this wonderful bill pay checklist so that I can just keep track of the bills that I do have and that I paid them. There's also the expense tracker, which is great because I'm able to identify that I had a lot of want spending in January. And I know a lot of you start out with your resolutions. So if your resolution was to start a budget or keep a budget, like you start off strict on the budget, which is what I did last year. And in one way, that is a good mindset. And in another way, you kind of get burned out by February. So the thing that I did learn from last year is to kind of do a baseline. So I did like have it in mind that I am doing a budget, but I didn't fully restrict myself where it was like you absolutely cannot spend. I gave myself the ability to choose. Are you going to spend or not? And then this way I can actually see where my weak spots are. So for the month of February now, I'm aware of what my weaknesses are and where I really do need to focus. And there are a lot of categories where I want to spend and I don't need to. So that I have a very clear mind on what's going on there now. So I can proceed with a better state of mind, a more awareness of what needs worked on. And the other thing that I started doing, which I didn't do this at all last year, and this probably has to be my favorite part, is I started meal planning on these half sheets, which are super cute, but they make grocery shopping a lot easier too. And I absolutely know exactly, what it is I need to buy, what's going to be happening, and it stops me from overspending at the grocery store. And I was able to use the backs of them for like a check ledger. And I know what you're thinking, like, okay, well, we're already tracking them here, we're already tracking them there. And the difference with this is I actually have like knowledge of what my true balance is, not the balance that my checkbook is showing. And this also, because I'm including if I do use a credit card, I'm using it for my actual amounts or funds. So even though that credit card is from the credit card and not from my checking account, I want to know exactly what it is I'm spending. So I'm tracking anything that goes in or out. And that way it does kind of like let me know, like, like it may say that I only have X amount of dollars in my account, where I may have like $200 or $300 more, but it's because of these extra ones. And this is helping me stay more aware of when I am using these. So they're just not going off into limbo. And then at the end of the month, I'm like, oh man, I used this. I know ahead of time because my amount is going down, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, what's going on? So instead of waiting till the end of the month to review it, I'm pretty much doing like a weekly review. And that has helped drastically on making me aware of like, hey, you're way overspending. You need to stop. So it's not like I'm telling myself that I have to stop. It's an awareness. It's like knowing that danger is right around the corner. What do we do? So I'm able to react, and then I can proactively set myself up for success for the next week instead of just pretty much killing the whole month. So this setup I'm loving. So with that in mind, we are going to go ahead and actually do what it is I said we were going to do, because we're going to pull out our February part of the budget extension pack. My, I got Bert's hair everywhere. So this is February's. And God, guys, I love this planner. This planner is absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, look at this. Look how beautiful that is. So I love looking at this It's Your Year to Shine planner. It is just beautiful. So let's see. I'm going to need this, which it is a little difficult to kind of like plan for the next month when the other month isn't fully done, but I have enough of the bills completed where I know what's going to be happening. So what I'm going to do is I need to take my information that I have written down for February, which is in my little tiny notebook, which is how I used to do my bills, which is so chaotic. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is what it used to look like before I started using the Happy Planner. And as you can see, it's a lot more clearer and I actually know what's happening. But out of habit, I still use this thing. So I'm going to go ahead, take the information that I have for February, and I'm going to organize it on the February sheet. Okay, so moving on to the part that like I really like about budgeting. Granted, this is very important. Like if you are going to budget, and you're only going to do one page, this is the page you need to do. So this is the main thing. We're going to take this now and we're going to make a monthly layout so that we can visualize what our spending and projected cost for the month of February is going to be. And again, this is an extension pack, so it is bare. Which is the beauty of it, because you can start whenever you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and just set these extra pages off to the side. I don't need those because we're going to focus on this. And let's see here. So the first thing I need to do is I do want to date it, but I might want to put a cute decoration sticker behind that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the days, the number of the days on a calendar so that I can actually see what February looks like first. Alright, so putting on the little mini days is the tedious part of doing an undated planner. Is it tedious and does it take a long time to do? A little bit more longer than what I would like it to? Yes, but the benefits that you get from having an undated planner just they outweigh it. So if it takes me a little bit longer to put on these little days just to have a planner for when I can use when I want to, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So one thing that I do want to set up here on this sidebar, which I'm gonna get my previous ones. So all right, so this is what I want to achieve. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna start doing my starting balances. I'm going to add my little calculator, and then I'm going to make a spot for my 3 pips for the month. And of course I'm going to add my quote, which I'm going to go ahead and just do my actual bills on a calendar along with that. And then once I'm done with that, then we're going to go ahead and decorate, because we're going to know exactly what the space is. So now this is literally the fun part. I am seriously so excited for this because I found cute little heart stickers and little chocolates. So here we go, guys. So there we go. I think this is pretty much what I'm going to use for my monthly or visual layout of my budget. I did forget that I already had the phone. I marked it twice on here, so I just went ahead and just covered this up with white label paper and just moved my savings goal down to here because it doesn't really have a due date. And I went ahead and moved my Walmart payment up here because this was typically a PIP for the last couple of months. So I just went ahead and just edited that. And the other thing that I noticed when I was completing this is I added in an extra day of bills. So I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and remove those and put them back into this super amazing rainbow mega pack of stickers. So who would have knew that the first time I would be using that sticker pack, it would be for a budget layout. Never would have guessed. I originally wanted to use those cute little heart-shaped ones, but some of them had gold and the other ones did not, and to me it wouldn't have looked right. So I'm really glad that I chose to go with what I did, because to me this is super cute, it's seasonal, it's functional because I know exactly what's going on when it's coming out. I'm able to keep track of my accounts. And from earlier, this was what I was talking about, is that my paychecks themselves, they're coming towards the end of the month. So it is kind of messing up like the actual budget system. So I do have one getting paid on this day, and so it's going to cover this chunk. So it looks bad as a visual, but to actually know what's going on month to month, it's going to be okay. These are covered by that one. So I'm going to be drawing funds in from January to cover the cost of February, and pretty much this check here you see in February, as you can tell, it can't be used. So it's going to do the same thing in March. And I believe that my pay periods actually equal out to where they're going to make sense on a layout towards the end of March going into April. So it's just really like January and February are really difficult to visualize. And when I was starting with a budget last year, it just like, it blew my mind. I could not understand what was happening. So this being the second year around, I got it. I know exactly what's happening. I don't need to freak out, and we are good. Oh, the joys of having experience. So if you're new to budgeting and you catch yourself, coming into this situation, or, you're thinking like, oh God, I'm not going to have enough funds, really pay attention to what's happening the month before and the month after. And if that is the advice I could give you, I mean, that is the best advice, is just don't just look at the month you're in. Look at what happened before and where you're going, and then you will know exactly where you need to be right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in just and get them in. I mean, these are just coming out so cute. I'm loving this setup, guys. I mean, this is a lot better than what I had for last year. I just feel like I have a lot more room. And just everything is absolutely gorgeous. So 2020 is turning out to be a fantastic year budget-wise for me. So let's see here. Let's get February in. I'm going to go ahead and put this. Well, no. This cannot go in here yet because I need this for the end of January's. So this needs to go back here. Still got to do my monthly review. Alright, so what do I need to do next? Okay, so the next thing that I guess I can do is I can go ahead and just take my bills and create my bill pay checklist, which is going to be easy because I'm literally just copying what I got here. And I don't write the amount down until I paid it. Because, I mean, I may have projected for a certain amount, but it may change. Some of them, you know, like rent and car insurance and that, those typically stay the same. But just for my other payments, I've learned to leave it blank, or you're going to end up crossing it out or recalculating it. So let me go ahead and just quickly complete this, and then that way I'm going to have this ready to go. And then I can put this in, and then we're done, guys. So just one more page. Alright, so main mission of getting the bill pay checklist completed. And oh my god, you are kidding me. Guys. Oh, how do I do this? But hey, you know what? My bills are exactly the same, so at least I have Marches prepared. Oh my god. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. I really only need one expense tracker. Oh my god, I can't believe that I did that. And I should have known that because I'm looking at a calendar. So here's my question. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep this. This is my legend. Because now I know what it needs to say for each of them. Guys, really? Really? How does this happen? Alright, well, since this did turn out this way, one thing that you may be noticing is that I have a lot of my bills set up so that they are paid together or in twos. And with some of these are the actual due dates, and some of them, the due dates, I pushed up a little bit just because it is a lot easier to track them and to pay them off on time when you put them together. So I kind of consider it like a buddy system for my bills. Then that way you don't have one bill kind of sitting off in limbo and you may overlook it. So that is how and why my bills go together. It has definitely helped keep track of these, because as you can see, I have a lot. And just to think that when I started, I actually had, I believe, 8 more accounts than this. So yeah, this may look like a lot to some of you, but this is actually reduced from what I'm used to. So I am seeing progress, and it is getting better. Something I never would have thought that I would have said last year. Never at this time. Bill pay time used to be the most stressful time of the month for me. And I mean, you did not want to go anywhere towards me. And now it's the best time because I get to make cute and happy looking things. I can see that my balances are actually going down. Some accounts are actually being eliminated. And I feel like I have way more control over everything than I did last year. And it is a lovely feeling. And it does take time, but I'm just saying, ladies, it's worth it. It's definitely worth the extra time. Alright, let's add my pips. And you may notice that I do have more for this month, but it's because for this one, like, I only really owe $3 on it, and then this pip is done. So this pip is getting paid off. Now this pip is going to get replaced with this pip, because as you can see, it's on the same account. So I'm going to go ahead and buddy both of those payments up. I just keep them separate, then that way I know for myself that this is paid off and we're moving on to this one. This is a pip that I completely forgot about listing underneath my pips, but I know it was in my monthly at a glance page. Okay, let's see here. Phone. This I would love. I would love if I could get this paid off earlier. That would be fantastic. And the rental, which I believe this guy's nearing his ending payment too. So see, that's going to be 2 more. And it's so much more nicer to pay the bills off when you know exactly what you're paying for and you can see them being eliminated. And just in case if you missed the very first video so that you can actually see what it is that I'm talking about, this is what I'm referring to. This is my PIP checklist, and I keep track of what the actual amount was and how many I divided up into payments, and then I pay those off as the months go on, so I can actually see exactly how long it's going to take me. So like the one that I was talking about earlier, okay, so these are his senior picks, and so I've been paying them off steadily, and the final payment is going to be 3. And now I'm going to add on there that I have a PIP for a ring. And I believe that's going to be paid off in 2. That's in my little notebook. Where are you at? Yes, 2 payments of 60. So I'm going to have a 60 here and a 60 there. And then that's going to be paid off. So that's how I'm keeping track. If I do make a large purchase on a credit card and I find that it's necessary to do it, which for the most part I don't want to, but there are just times, and we have to realize that we're not living without credit. You need to learn to live with credit functionally and responsibly. And this right here, this is the setup that I've been using. And so far it's been going well. And for those of you who are not aware of my budget blog that I've been keeping, it's very interesting to go back and read some of your blogs from like a year ago. But I used the Stebit. It's a Stebit app, and it's really wonderful because you just take what you have and you enter in all the information for it. And the Stebit app, it just takes everything, breaks it down for you, shows you exactly what you're working with. And then it gives you a step-by-step payment plan. So, woo, it takes the mystery out of budgeting whenever you're trying to pay off debt. You literally just figure out what's in your plan. It'll let you choose from like the highest balance, the lowest balance, if you want to pay off your APR ones first, or if you just want to make your own order. It'll do that for you. It'll show you how much you're going to end up paying in interest, so you could pick the one that works best for you. And I mean, it gives you like little goals. So like right now, I know that I can have my Care Credit account paid off by March. Pretty much I'm probably going to have that paid off by next February. So if you do see that, you know, like if something's going to be due in March or it's going to be due in May, you're kind of more motivated to pay it off before it even before Stebit says that it's due. So if you're one of those people who like checklist and you like to compete with yourself, I guess is the best way of saying it, check out Stebit because it's an amazing app, and it definitely gives you a clear view of what is going on with your debts, loans, car payments, just any debt payment that you may have. You just put it in here and it is so easy to use. So I'm gonna put a link down below that I'm going to directly link to Stebit, and then I'm also going to have a link to my blog if you would like to learn more about how I use this to prepare my budget for the entire year. So I'm basically taking this, I'm breaking it down into these monthlies, so that's where I'm getting these totals at for my pips, and then we're breaking this down even further into weeklies. So yeah, budgeting is not just making a budget and then letting it go. You are constantly working towards the same goal in little tiny steps. So again, I just want to finish out with saying thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that these videos help you either just finally decide that you're gonna start a budget, that you're gonna give it a try, that if you have been budgeting and it hasn't been going well, that, you know, maybe something that I do here helps you, or, you know, provides insight into maybe what was going incorrectly in yours, or maybe you're seeing something that I'm doing incorrectly and you realize that what you're doing is working better for you. So hooray for you. And I'm so glad that it's working. So, because each of us are different. We're all different. We have different situations. And your budget should match what you need. So, if you see something different here and it's definitely not going to work for you, please don't try it. Work with what you need to meet your budgeting goals. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the views and the comments that I get. And I just, again, want to share with how much I do love you guys. You have motivated me to keep and maintain my budget for an entire year, and I am so looking forward to doing the same in 2020. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys, and thank you again for watching.